Now, 21 minutes past 6, it's not often that we get an insight into the thoughts of the royal family. But in a new book, the Duchess of Cambridge has spoken publicly for the first time about her concerns for Prince William during his time as an RAF pilot.
She's written the foreword for a collection of memoirs by military wives, revealing her personal experience of the couple's time living and working on the base in Anglesey. William's career as a search and rescue helicopter pilot for the RAF was serious and dangerous work, something that concerned the Duchess of Cambridge. She said,
"I cannot pretend that I didn't feel anxious at times when William was on shift, knowing that he was out flying in extremely challenging conditions."
While he was there, he and his colleagues carried out daring rescue missions on the mountains of Snowdonia and rough waters of the Irish Sea. Like many wives, although the Duchess knew his job carried risks, she always gave him her utmost support, saying,
"He loved doing it, and I always felt incredibly proud of him."
Well, with us now, former RAF wife and co-author of this new book, Alison Bairsto, and royal commentator Robert Jobson. Very good morning to you.
Morning.
Well, Alison, how lovely to have these comments from the Duchess of Cambridge in the book. Did they give you an insight into how she felt about being an RAF wife?
Yes, we were delighted when she said she would help us and help us with our charity work.
Whose idea was it to ask her?
It was, well, it was the three of us, the three wives who were putting it together. We were thinking about RAF wives who would help us, and she's obviously...
It's the perfect choice.
Perfect choice, yes. But we were delighted that she said how she really felt when William was flying, and what life for her was like as a wife. It was a very down-to-earth, very heartfelt piece of writing.
Yeah. Yes. And Robert, she's very honest about it. I'm just flicking to the words here. "I cannot pretend that I didn't feel anxious at times when William was on shift in howling gales, knowing that he was out flying in extremely challenging conditions, but he loved doing it, and I always felt incredibly proud of him," but revealing some vulnerability in her feelings.
Absolutely. I mean, the reality, when she was up in Anglesey, she was living as a military wife. She was exactly in that role. She did speak about this when she was on a tour of Canada, and she did say to another military wife how scared she was and worried about it. And there were serious conditions up there. You know, that's a harrowing job he was doing. I think people didn't quite realise how difficult it was.
It's an extraordinary life being in the armed services, but of course the thing that you and the other ladies that have written the story that you're telling is what it's like being on the other side and being the married partner and having to move around the world, and everything gets dropped for them when they need to go. It's
exactly that. It's a group of tales covering about, well, 10 chapters, different subjects, life as a family, moving about, different places.
How many times did you move?
We moved about 19 times in 33 years. But we did live in one place for 6 years, so we were moving every 18 months.
That's quite a long time, isn't it?
It is a lot, yes.
Yeah, and Robert, tell us about, you know, how the Duchess kind of gives us an insight into that life and how representative that is of the royal family. I mean, they kind of keep their feelings close to their chest, don't they?
I think you've got to remember, actually, that the royal family is intrinsically linked to the military. I mean, the Queen was a military wife herself, a Royal Naval wife, before she became Queen.
And how often did she speak out about her feelings?
Not at all, not really. I mean, that's the whole point. I think that what's wonderful about this book, and it's going to do very well for the charity, I'm sure, because of the Duchess's involvement as well, that it really does show a different type of the way the royal family are doing things in a different way. They have written forwards before, the Prince of Wales has, but I think this just shows you that she's opening up a little bit. You're seeing exactly what she cares about, and I think that's important.
Well, Robert, thanks very much indeed, Alison. Thank you very much.
Yeah, best of luck with the book. It really looks like a very interesting read.
Good luck.
Thank you. In the next half hour of the programme, he was the man who